Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I think people decide whether or not we deserve respect based on our social mannerisms. In fact, I think our social mannerisms are more important than financial success or physical appearance in terms of gaining respect when you first meet someone. How do you carry yourself? Do you sit slouched? Are you quick to blame others? Do you talk too softly? Do you hold eye contact? Kind of like what I'm doing now, you see. Do you smile when you're talking to someone?
The other day, there's like I saw like a black guy. He's like black.
Do you refuse to admit you're wrong? Do you talk too fast? Do you wobble about a lot in conversation? When I was younger, nobody dared to tell me the truth and point out my strange social habits. I couldn't stand still while talking, and I would talk really fast and high-pitched because I'm afraid people could interrupt me. I didn't know where to put my hands. I was quick to pass blame because it was too scary to be rejected for taking responsibility for something. I was quick to lie, and I never smiled because I didn't like the way I looked. These mannerisms that we sometimes don't catch or continue to let ourselves act it out even if we're not happy with it will always haunt us. Even if you're successful, physically attractive, articulate and mature, but you have terrible social habits, it can easily destroy someone's admiration and respect for you. Imagine Jordan Peterson. Although he is articulate and intelligent, but you see him overreact when a waiter spills something onto him. Maybe he goes, "Do you know how much this coat cost?" If you see him act out like that and whine about somebody spilling drinks onto him when he chose to wear that coat out to eat, you'll lose respect for him because it reflects poor emotional discipline. If a world-famous combat athlete sat down slouched, constantly scratches his face while he talks to you, gives a very close body posture, if you didn't know he could fight, you'll probably think that he's quite harmless. And not only that, even if you do know that he can fight, when you meet him in person and he acts this way, you're just not going to respect him as much. If we don't like how we carry ourselves, we cannot just sit there and deem it as part of our characteristics. Oh, that's just who I am. It's perfectly possible to change these things. These little eccentricities that we dislike but do nothing about will accumulate self-hatred and will forever weigh us down until something's done about it. And these habits almost define us to other people. Weak mannerisms destroy one's image, despite however much one has achieved in their lives. Our respect for someone is significantly attributed to how they carry themselves, how they react to things, how they act. In this video, I'll talk about how important it is to be mindful of our social mannerisms. If you wish to display competence and be respectable, how you behave in every extension must be re-evaluated. How will your ideal self react to adversity? Act when he is faced with immense stress? How does he talk to people? How does he behave? In a debate, do you admit when you're wrong, when they have a good point? Or do you hold on deluded to your own arguments just because you want to be right? You don't listen to opposing arguments because you're not seeking the truth. You just wait for your turn to speak so that you can continue to impose your ideas onto other people instead of having a conversation. How do you compose yourself under pressure? How do you take confrontation? A friend of mine helped me to film in the gym. The uncle in charge tells him that filming is not allowed, and my friend without hesitation will point at me and be like, "He's the one who told me to film, not my choice." Many people are quick to make sure that everybody knows they are not responsible, they are not to blame. Perhaps they were conditioned to fear the potential rejection that being responsible for something could bring. This can make them very defensive and very quick to protect themselves first. I'm not saying that it's bad to protect yourself. I don't think you should pointlessly take the fall for others. That's stupid. Being overly defensive is weakness. It reflects your fear of rejection. What will a strong, competent, respectable man do? If he is called out for something his friend did, first he would evaluate the weight of the blame. If I chose to do it for my friend, aren't I partly to blame? The strong, competent man will probably calmly take it to himself because he knows this shit doesn't matter. He doesn't have the fear of rejection. He has already gotten over that and is ready to take it because he's secure. He will probably simply reply calmly, "I'm sorry, I didn't know filming wasn't allowed here." We have to learn to take responsibility of our own choices. If you're always quick to point out who is at fault instantly, you're weak as fuck. If a waiter spills something on you and you rush to be vocal, "Can you be careful?" so you can signify to everyone you are not responsible, you're cringe. I'm not telling you to take the blame for others. I think we should be cutthroat and fight for our own. But a calm man isn't one who would rush to save his own skin. That is not a person with a strong mindset and social competence. A year back, when it was my birthday, my sister invited some of my old friends for a reunion. And of course, these old friends are from my past Discord groups, the very cringe state of life. We were sharing God of War Ragnarok on the PS4, and we would rotate it. Once it got to this guy's turn, let's call him Small Cock, he hogs the controller, and I will ask him to pass it around, but then he would just ignore me and continue playing, continue commentating about the game. How do you think everyone else thought about him after this? Mannerisms and behavioral patterns define who you are to other people. If you want to uphold your image and you want to be respected, you have to look at these things and take them seriously. Do you indirectly insult someone or consistently talk behind their back because you're too afraid to confront them? Maybe you don't dare to sincerely apologize because being vulnerable is deathly terrifying. I have some friends who would be like, oh, I'll only come if you do this. If you fit certain criteria, then I'll show up. Bitch, I don't have to earn your company. Are you too quick to apologize to everything? Just a habitual response. Don't apologize for being alive. Don't apologize for being exist. Well, what? Don't ever be sorry for existing. You deserve to be here, and you deserve to be here just as anyone else does. You don't have to be sorry for taking up space. All these things seem little, but they very much determine how respectable you are and your substance as a human being. How can we change? I'm going to express something that I've been struggling with lately and something that I noticed in myself. I'm going to talk about why I think I have these tendencies and how I'm going to absolutely desecrate it from my system. I realize I sound very dismissive and sad at times. When saying goodbye, I have this tone of sadness and emptiness in me. Sometimes I reply to things in a sad tone, subconsciously. Even though I smile and wave and I look playful, I have this like emptiness in my face and I sound like I'm putting on an act and I'm actually dismissive of them. How would this make others feel? They might think I'm forcing myself to be reciprocative to them. This makes me seem less trustworthy. This makes them feel uncomfortable around me because they have to constantly evaluate how they appear to me when they're around me. Am I happy with this? Absolutely not. I think these mannerisms came about when I was a lonely, socially incompetent boy. The habitual thoughts, the fear of having to say goodbye, the fear that they might leave me because of something I said, because of something I did, without telling me what it is. This subconscious thought that people will leave me someday makes me not want to strengthen our relationship. While I changed to express myself more, I didn't change the mindset I injected into myself. So, I'm gonna curb this by first being more positive about making new relationships. Let go of my fear of rejection, my fear of being too clingy and pushy, my fear of coming off as insensitive. One really stupid thing that surprisingly works for me is just deluding myself, telling myself that I'm excited to form new relationships. I'm excited to poke at people. I'm excited to tease and be playful around people. Express myself. Then this delusion helps you create reasons in your head to reinforce that. It's fulfilling. People are beautiful. I want to be positive and excited to anyone I talk to. I want to be mindful, interesting, and mentally healthy. Next, I'm going to make it my goal to curb this. Every time I'm in conversation with someone, I give myself reasons for being excited to talk to them. I force myself to freely express myself, to be goofy, tease them, insult them, make fun of them, be vocal and randomly share about my life. If I catch myself slipping, pull myself back. Be fully focused in the moment. If moments get uncomfortable and thoughts accumulate in my head, I'll start taking actions, start probing them, challenging them, poking and teasing them. Naturally, I'll supplement these habits with meditation and journaling. Meditation gives you mindfulness, the ultimate superpower, being aware of all your emotions at every moment, aware of all your thoughts, and able to bring your focus back into the moment, back into your actions and your feelings in the moment. Journaling is basically these past few paragraphs talking to myself in front of a camera, just as on paper. I reevaluate and think of things that I should have done, better mindsets I could have had, and better options I could have chose. Meditation helps you notice things about yourself far faster than the average person. Imagine the immense amount of growth you make, because nobody else does this. There are so many cringe behavioral habits we pick up. Our self-centeredness, immaturity, lack of discipline, fears and our concerns of how we appear has slowly and accumulatively squeezed these bad social mannerisms out of us. If we are not mindful, we may never notice these habits, and it will continue to drag us down forever. So, how would the highest level of you behave? In all situations, really consider it. How does he behave under pressure? Is he kind and contented or vengeful and angry? How does he sit? How does he think? Where does he put his hands? How fast does he speak? Does he smile often? It sounds very stupid, but I strongly believe that all the little things matter. We should be very careful of our mannerisms. Portraying ourselves in a more respectable manner may seem superficial, but it gives us more opportunities. People have more admiration for us, which gives us more job opportunities, networking opportunities, chances for more experiences, the ability to meet and connect with high quality people, live a more interesting life, and improve the status of you and your family. Good and confident social mannerisms also makes the person you're talking to comfortable, because you don't reflect insecurity and you're comfortable in your own skin. People can feel your energy and be comfortable around you, because they do not need to obsess over being sensitive. They do not need to consider that they are being bothersome to you, because you don't seem dismissive, and therefore they can also fully express themselves. You're doing a favor for other people while also being more contented with yourself. It's a a truly brilliant practice. Wanting to be respected, wanting to uphold our pride and dignity, and be admired by others is deemed superficial, is deemed disgusting, ingenuous, self-centered, but isn't it an honest desire? Why is it really bad? Is wanting to reflect competence actually going to mean that we have less competence? Maybe being obsessed with how you appear is not particularly healthy, but I think that obsession will instead reflect very retarded social mannerisms. The mindset should not be to be as admirable as possible, but to express who your ideal self is as much as possible, to present yourself to the world as who you desire to be. That's powerful and absolutely beautiful, and in my opinion, I don't find that superficial one bit. You respect yourself more, be more comfortable in your own skin, and goddamn, I'm proud of myself for helping myself change. Let's show the world the magnitude of our strength. Let's announce who we want to be and enchant the world around us. To better world.